It's a beautiful day. Lucky that we live Hawaii.
24/7, 365.
Swimming in the ocean anytime.
Take the leap.
Live healthy. Eat well. Be active. Live Pono every day.
Take a little bike ride. West side.
Aloha kako, and welcome to our third episode of Foundations for Healthier Generations. I'm your host, Lorilyn Salamanca of the WIC program at the Department of Health. It's nice to be with you once again to highlight the public health programs, initiatives, issues, and public health concerns addressed by the State Department of Health. During our last episode, Lola Irvin, Project Manager for the Chronic Disease Prevention and Management Division, was here to talk about some model programs occurring in our state. Today, we have Lara Leimana Fonoimoana here with us. Lara is the current Mrs. America and the former Mrs. Hawaii. Because her platform is obesity prevention, she's partnering with the Department of Health's Chronic Disease Prevention and Management Division to bring messages around healthy eating and active living to Hawaii residents statewide. Before we get started with the interview portion of our show, let's hear a bit more about obesity and its health consequences.
A screening tool for obesity is BMI, which stands for Body Mass Index. It is simply a number calculated from a person's weight and height. It offers a fairly good estimate of weight status. Most people with a BMI below 18.5 are underweight. A person with a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9 is considered to be of a normal weight. A person with a BMI between 25.0 and 29.9 is likely to be overweight, and most people with a BMI of 30.0 or above are obese. Since BMI is just a screening tool, people will need further assessment from a healthcare professional. It's important to know your BMI because carrying extra weight can increase your risk of developing diabetes and other chronic diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and stroke. To find out your BMI or that of your loved ones, you can use the obesity calculator on CDC's website located at www.cdc.gov/healthyweight/BMI/index.html. You will be prompted to enter your height and weight.
Well, as we just heard, it's important for everyone to know their BMI. Now let's talk with our very own Mrs. America, Lara Leimana Fonoimoana, who will share some solutions to help reduce BMI through healthy eating and active living. Lara, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I just wanted to ask, can you tell us a little bit more about why you chose obesity prevention as your platform?
I chose preventing obesity as my platform because I'm a mother of 2 young children, and my quest for being healthy really came when I was pregnant with my daughter, my eldest, and it was a high risk pregnancy. And so because of that, I felt that that was my one way that I can actually give the most beneficial nutrition to them in my pregnancy. And so I started to incorporate a healthier lifestyle. And when I became a mother, I started doing raw shakes. And it just kind of became a natural way for us to incorporate our fruits and vegetables. And because of that, it was a very easy platform for me to take on because I am married to a very physically fit person. They love sports, and I'm also from a very athletic family. And so it was a real easy choice for me to take on.
So it was a good fit.
Yes.
So very natural.
Very natural fit.
Okay. What kinds of things, I guess, have you done since becoming Mrs. America to promote the issue of obesity prevention?
As Mrs. America, I've been able to promote my Shake It Up campaign, which promotes the use of raw shakes, fruits and vegetable shakes without any added sugar. And my kids love them. They've started doing it since they were very small. And then also, I'm a professional hula dancer and Tahitian dancer, and so it allows me to incorporate my culture as a way of showing people exercise and keeping them fit. And then also I've been able to partner up with a lot of nonprofit organizations. Recently I just came on board with the 5210 campaign. And that's wonderful because it's a consistent message that we're sending across the state of Hawaii. 5 fruits and vegetable daily servings a day, 2 hours of limited sedentary activity, which is TV, computer work, any of that. 1 hour of being physically fit and just going out and moving for an hour, and then of course 0 sugary sweets. And another organization that I work with is the Junior League of Honolulu, their Kids in the Kitchen program, which allows me and other celebrities to go out and teach kids how to do healthy recipes. So a lot of organizations that I'm working and partnering with that are promoting healthy lifestyles.
Oh, wow. I know that, raw shakes or raw juices are very, they can be very, very tasty. I had one a couple weeks ago that had like parsley and beets. And I mean, as a nutritionist, I was a little hesitant because I'd never had it before. I prefer mine whole. So I have a friend who's really into juicing, and so he shared some of that with me, and it was very, very tasty. I was pleasantly surprised.
A lot of people, a lot of adults, let's put it that way, they're the ones that are the most scared because it doesn't look appealing. But it's, we have ways of dressing it up. Obviously, if you're going to put something like a beet inside your shake, you might want to put an apple, which has its own natural sweetener in it.
Yeah.
And it's great for kids because it helps them meet their nutritional needs every day.
And then we sometimes judge with our eyes, and so it doesn't look very attractive. And yet, when it touches your palate, it's like, this is really good.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's what Shake It Up campaign is all about, is about educating our children in learning their fruits and vegetables, but also allowing them to be creative and learning how to use their own taste buds with their fruits and vegetables.
And then I think teaching children how to cook as well and prepare foods, that's very important, because with the introduction of a lot of convenience foods, there's a loss, I think, of that knowledge, passing down. I mean, the parents may be too busy, and then the children are left with the convenience foods. And that's a very important skill to, once they leave home, they grow up, they leave home, to have. Yeah.
Right. I think as my legacy, what I want to leave to my children is them knowing how to live a healthy lifestyle after I'm gone. But I also don't only want my children, I want the community too, because it does take a village to raise a child. And so it's not only teaching my children, but it's incorporating other children as well. And that's one great things that I'm able to do as Mrs. America.
Yeah, and it teaches them about culture as well, because there's a lot of cultural ties. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I know that we have a clip of you speaking at the Honolulu Theater for Youth's production of Lion Dancer. So let's go ahead and take a look at that clip.
As Mrs. America, I've taken on a role of trying to inform everybody about health and fitness. It's what my platform is, it's what my mission in life is. And we have a huge problem in America, and it's called childhood obesity. Does anybody know what that is? Raise your hand if you're familiar with it. One of the biggest things that contribute to being overweight is sugary, sweetened juices. So that's juices, sodas, anything with lots of sugar. And the average American every year consumes 45 pounds of sugar. That is the amount of my daughter every year. That's a huge number of sugar. That's too much sugar. So I'm here to help promote eating fruit, vegetables, drinking what? Water. Yes, that's the things that I would love for more of our students, our KGs to be drinking. So if I leave you with this, please and thank you, smile at people, fruits and veggies, and of course, try and drink more water. So thank you so much for having me here. I hope you enjoy the show.
Wow. Well, I'm curious to find out, how much did your daughter weigh, I guess, at the time that was shot?
My daughter actually at that time was 36 pounds, so we're actually consuming more sugar than what my daughter weighed.
Wow.
Now she's just about, 40 pounds as she's growing, but still, that's a lot of sugar in 1 year. So.
That is a lot. It's amazing. I think on a day-to-day basis, we don't realize, how much it is that we really take in. Yeah. What led you to partner up with the Department of Health about obesity prevention?
Well, I think with the Department of Health, I really wanted my message to be consistent, and I wanted the expertise, which is what they offer. They're very knowledgeable. They have up-to-date research, and so I've been extremely grateful for them to partner up with me, and I to partner up with them actually, and get my message across.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you on the team.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any information or facts that you hadn't learned before, hadn't heard before, since you partnered up with the department?
Well, I kind of knew majority of the facts out there, but of course, as spoken in the video that we did at the Honolulu Theater for Youth, it's an alarming statistic when you say 1 in every 3 children before they reach kindergarten is faced with that obesity issue. When you take it down to a statistic, that's 33%. And unfortunately here in Hawaii, that percentage is actually a little higher. And the Department of Health is always updating our systems and helping me to get those stats across. And then of course, as these children grow up and they become an adult, now they are at risk for chronic health problems, whether that's diabetes or, heart problems, cancer. That's something that we have to address now when they're young, because this could be the generation that actually lives shorter than their parents. Mm-hmm. And so that's a little frightening. That's, as a mother, that's frightening for me to hear.
Yeah, and that's definitely threatening to the structure of the family of the ohana, yeah?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Can you share us, I guess, some of the tips that you might have about healthy eating or balanced diet?
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. Okay.
That's one thing. We also have the myplate.gov, which we'll be seeing a clip a little bit later with the Department of Health's nutritionists. But definitely everything in moderation. A little, too much of anything is a bad thing. And so try to incorporate more fruits and vegetables, take out your sugary sweets, which is juices, sodas, and try to focus more on water.
Yeah, it's like balance like everything else in life, yeah?
Mm-hmm. The smallest things make the biggest difference.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. Well, let's go ahead and see that clip from Carolyn Donahoe Mather, who is the state nutritionist, and she'll be talking about the Choose My Plate.
My Plate is a set of guidelines to help people balance their intake of calories. My Plate makes it easier for people to know what to eat and how much of each food group you should eat. Your plate should be filled as follows. Half of the plate should contain fruits and vegetables without a lot of butter or other dressings. The other half of the plate is divided between whole grains and lean protein, with low-fat dairy on the side, like fat-free or low-fat milk. It's also important to serve yourself smaller portions of starchy vegetables like potatoes. Food high in fat, sugar, and salt should be eaten only on occasion, but serve yourself as many veggies as you want. For more information about My Plate, visit www.choosemyplate.gov. I'm now going to share with you some local examples of what My Plate can look like in Hawaii. First, the healthier Loco Moco. To make this local favorite in a healthy way, you'll need the following ingredients: a lean beef patty that weighs about 3 ounces after cooking, 1 cup of brown rice, 1 egg, and a 1/4 cup of low-fat gravy. Add a side of salad, veggies, and fruit. Next up, the healthier Asian-inspired dish. To make this, we used 3 ounces of steamed fish, preferably a lower mercury fish like salmon or tilapia, 1 cup of brown rice, a small Okinawan sweet potato, 1/2 cup of broccoli, 3 to 4 ounces of calcium-fortified tofu, and a 1/2 cup of pineapple. Finally, the healthier vegetarian plate. This includes 3/4 of a cup of hummus, 1/2 cup of carrot and celery sticks, 1 to 2 slices of 100% whole wheat bread, 2 ounces of string cheese, and a 1/2 cup of fresh fruit. Remember, generally the more colorful the fruit or veggie, the more nutrients and antioxidants it contains. So eat a rainbow and have fun with it.
Well, that looked very tasty. I was getting a little hungry over here.
I know. Very appealing, right?
Yes, very appealing. I wish someone could come to my house and make that every day. So with a healthy lifestyle, I know that there's a balance of what we eat, and then there's also kind of the output, the physical activity.
Right.
Do you have any tips on how people can be more physically active?
Well, I think most importantly is try to incorporate physical activity into your day whenever possible. You know, for adults, we lead by example. So if you can choose to walk or ride your bike instead of drive, that would be a wonderful way. For some people, it's not convenient. You know, they have to drive longer, to longer places. And so what might be better is to park your car farther. You know, try to walk more in your day, take the stairs instead of the elevator. For children, try to promote more walking, more physical activity, which could be sports. Sports is great because it not only teaches them how to be physically fit, but it also gives them other valuable, you know, qualities that we love, and that's discipline and hard work and determination. For my daughter and myself, you know, obviously we're very active people. You know, we love to do the water stuff and we love to do the sports, but we also take pride in our culture. And, you know, everybody has their own culture, and so if you can incorporate that too, that's great. For me and her, we like to dance hula and we like to dance Tahitian, and that helps us keep fit. So
That's great. Like in the past, I think, you know, lifestyle of the population was different. It was a lot more active. It was built into what they were doing. Folks worked on the plantation and the fields, and so they were active throughout the day. And so whatever they ate, they were burning off.
Right.
And now in current times, you know, a lot of us have desk jobs, and so we have to take that time out, almost kind of at the end of the day, and think of those other things to be active and make it part of our routine.
Right.
Whether it be parking far or taking stairs instead of the elevator or the escalator. So it's great. Well, we also have the State Physical Activity Coordinator, Katie Richards, and she has a clip and ideas on how to incorporate physical fitness into your life. So let's hear that clip.
Physical activity is easier than you think. Sometimes it's just a question of incorporating it into your daily life. The best advice is to be physically active your way. For example, pick an activity that you enjoy. Find a buddy or do it with a family member. Do it for your family. More tips that can help you become physically active are the following. Find a time of day that works best for you. For some, it might be easier to walk with a friend during a lunch break. Others might find success going for a bike ride as a way to unwind after a long day. There are many ways to build physical activity into your life. There are low-cost aerobic and exercise classes all over Hawaii, as well as sports teams and leagues, so keep a lookout for signs and advertisements. The recommended physical activity guidelines for adults are at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise a day and strengthening activities on at least 2 days per week. For more information on the recommended physical activity guidelines, visit www.health.gov/PA guidelines.
Now, I really like Katie's suggestion about that things don't have to be expensive. You know, they can be inexpensive things. It's not necessarily a gym membership that costs hundreds of dollars. Can you share some of the things that I guess that you and your family do that doesn't cost a lot of money?
Well, absolutely. One of the best things about living in Hawaii is that we have this beautiful island, so utilize it. I mean, we have the beaches. Get out there, take your kids for a swim, you know. The sand is the hardest thing to walk on sometimes, and it can get you the most fit. So take your kids for a walk on the sand, you know, enjoy the scenery. Take them up the mountains and do trails that are obviously routed out and safe, but, you know, get them out there. I mean, for me and my family, we love to get into the water. My husband loves to boogie board, and so it's a fun way for him to stay fit. My kids love the water and they love to swim. You know, I love beach volleyball, so I enjoy the beach a lot, and I also like to attempt to surf. And, you know, it's all about just doing family, and it brings the family together too. So get out there and see what Hawaii has to offer, because it is a beautiful island. We're very lucky that we have great weather year-round, so utilize it.
Yeah, and it's, you say, you know, you try to surf. It's not necessarily the you know, professional level surfing that means that you're active. It's you getting